got three things to say. God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start your engine!
Welcome to tonight's coverage of the QSR Chase for the Cup at Sonoma Raceway, race number 4 of this season's 15 race schedule. It is 30 laps here tonight from Sonoma Raceway in Southern California, and drivers currently on the track getting their qualifying laps in. Some quick times from some of these drivers in the Gen 4 machines. It's going to be a fun one here tonight under the sun, and my name is Adam Baker. I'm here with Alec Martinez. Alec, how are you feeling about coming back to Sonoma? This is our second time here this week.
Yeah, no, we still stayed up here in the Northern California area after BTUI. And I think tonight it's going to be interesting to see. Obviously, we haven't seen these guys in the QSR be able to tackle a road course. And from what I could tell, there is one guy kind of set above them all, like we saw on Tuesday as well. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. And I'm really looking forward to this race, seeing these guys tackle the road course for the first time this season. And you just never know. Road course racing shows a whole different driving skill than ovals, so I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, definitely going to be a challenge for these drivers in these Gen 4 machines. It is 30 laps here tonight, just 60 miles in length, but that's going to be a tough 60 miles going through the lefts and rights here at Sonoma Raceway. 45-mile-an-hour pit road speed. They're going to have 4 sets of tires with just 3 in the pits. And we do have 100% fuel load, iRacing fixed setup, and again, this is race number 4 of 15 this season. Last week's winner, Garrett Pick, he is not here tonight, so he won't be able to go back to back. But Jeremy Burns currently quickest on the qualifying charts, and it is not really all that close. He's about a second faster than anyone else out there. Pull up the qualifying times. Yeah, he is up there at 1:16.68. Really nice lap, very similar to his practice time. And Quentin Stewart now goes second. He's 0.8 off the pole time, so going to be a challenge for these guys. We'll see if Jeremy Burns is able to hang on to this top spot. You know, there were a couple cars a little bit closer. Daniel Molnix, remember, he had quite the moment last week.
He did, yeah.
Tracking down Garrett Pick for the win.
And it's one thing to be very fast at a road course just on one lap speed, but can you manage that speed throughout the entire run of a race? I think that's one thing that separates the good drivers from the great drivers on road courses. Is some guys are able to go really, really fast for just one lap or 2 laps, and then you get a run and you get 15 laps you have to go, and then guys they start to fall off after 10 because they're pushing the cars hard. That's interesting to see tonight if anybody's going to be able to keep up with Burns. I think we can obviously put Burns as a massive favorite to win this race. The question is, can he keep up that race pace?
Yeah, and if you go off track here, it doesn't matter how fast you are all the other laps, but you're going to lose a lot of time, stepping a couple of tires off into the dirt. That can really send you sideways, and it could be a big problem here at Sonoma. We've got 12 drivers who have taken a time so far. Still quite a few yet to get a lap in. Galen Wunsch on the racetrack, about to come across the start-finish line for, I believe this would be his first
lap, yeah. And qualifying really important too. You cannot afford to dip a wheel off the racetrack. There goes Wunsch into 4th place, but you can't afford to dip a wheel off the racetrack here and start in the back. Because if you start in the back here, we know how hard it is to pass here at Sonoma.
It is definitely a challenge, and looks like nobody else really on the racetrack. Molnick's going to attempt another one here. I'm not sure if he's going to have enough time to do it, but going to work his way up into turn number 1. Not happy with his previous attempt at it. Looks like they get a couple of laps to go for it.
Scheme on that car, from what I could tell, too.
Yeah, I think he was running the Penske number 2 last week.
Yeah, I don't know. I have him a Penske number 2 on my screen. I don't know if you have him, but Burns in the 97. I mean, look at that, 8/10 again, very similar to what we saw on Tuesday night here. Just going back, and it looks very, very similar in the way the times are, where we have one guy significantly ahead of everybody.
Yeah, and it is 0.8 of a second difference between Burns and Stewart. We're gonna see if that paint scheme will refresh for us here, but yeah, definitely gonna be a challenge for those guys to keep up. But like you said, Jeremy may not have that long run speed, but we'll just have to wait and find out. He's got 30 laps. That's probably just gonna be one pit stop if it goes green. Well, I think it's gonna go green the entire way. I don't believe there's gonna be any cautions except for maybe a track blocker.
I would think if you want to get cut this race in half, really, I think 15 laps probably is what you're going to want to do, and then probably bring it in one more time, and I don't see much. He's pretty much cut this race in half. I think if looking at the fuel, and I think you're going to want to pit for tires more than you will fuel.
Yeah, that is going to be a big 10-4 on that. The tires wear out so fast in this old surface, as it is still Molnick's making his way around. See if we can get that paint scheme to show up for us here in just a moment. But again, happy to be back with these guys. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. If you enjoy the broadcast tonight, we do want to thank you for joining us here on V-Speed once again. Looks like everything is righted now in terms of those paint schemes. So it's going to be Molnick's trying to complete his lap. He's still got over 1 minute and 20 seconds to get this one done. And he was one of the top 5 quickest in practice. Could put himself up there in a good starting position. Otherwise, he's starting at least 14th if he doesn't get a good lap in here.
That's going to be very detrimental because there is no stage to bunch the field back up. So you got to get a good lap here. And with these cars, hard braking zone, going to get all the way down from about 3rd gear down to 2nd into 1st. See, he locks the right front tire up a little bit. And then the most important corner on this racetrack, get that run off. And for this little bit of a straightaway short shoot, get up into the gas, slide the rear end down, and then get a finishing lap there in 18.5. Got to put him up in 4th fastest. So not a horrible lap. Going to be a top 5 position, a top 5 starting position for him. Well, still 1.8 seconds back of Jeremy Burns.
Yeah, not a bad lap. Much better than starting back in 14th place. So he'll be in row number 2, it appears, as the clock winding down in qualifying. We still have 6 cars that have yet to put a time up, but they will start from the rear of the field. They'll have their work cut out for them tonight at Sonoma, as we should be ticking down to 0 in just a couple of moments. We'll take a look at the starting grid for tonight's race. Get that up on the screen here. Jeremy Burns going to be your pole sitter and looking pretty fast here tonight with a 1:16.681. So going to be the car to beat, I believe, for a lot of this race. Quentin Stewart going to roll off from the 2nd position, but going to join the 97 on the front row. Trenton Wilkin going to start from 3rd tonight. Daniel Molnick, he'll start from the 4th position. Starting in 5th, it'll be Galen Wunsch. In 6th, it's Dirk Likes. Starting in 7th, it's Tyler Harrison. Joseph Terciano going to roll off from row number 4 and 8th. Starting in 9th, it's Ronnie Joyner and Kevin Orlando Jr. will round out the top 10.
In 11th, you're going to have Stephen McGow going to roll off in the 83 car. Mitchell Costner going to roll to his outside in 12th. 13th has Brett Allen with 14th to his outside. Wyatt Walker in the 85. Chris Nail, I believe, is going to be rolling off in the 48 and 15th. Then Mike Petron's going to be rolling off 16th. Ethan Wisnowski is going to be rolling off 17th with Bryson Witherspoon 18th. Then Spencer Johnson and Austin Dowdy going to roll out the field in 19th and 20th. 20 cars here tonight in the northern hills of the Sonoma County. In there used to be the Infineon Raceway and now the Sonoma Raceway. So I'm looking forward to seeing here in wine country. Adam, I got to ask, who do you think? I mean, I think the 97's the favorite, but are you thinking he's going to win this race?
I believe without any significant mistakes, even if he makes a couple, I think he's still got the field covered on speed. It might be like Tuesday night where we're trying to pick second place finisher here tonight. So, I think Molnick's gets a little redemption for what happened to him at Auto Club last week, and he's going to be able to come home in the second spot tonight, possibly. Maybe challenge for the win. We'll see if he can get that, get the consistency in the lap times, and maybe take advantage of some mistakes of these drivers up here. Who are you thinking?
I don't know, man. If Burns doesn't win, I mean, obviously Quentin Stewart looks fast. Trenton Wilkins looks really fast. I would have to give the edge to, honestly, I feel like maybe if I recall, Trenton Wilkins was really, really good at Auto Club. Seemed to be good on the long run. So I'm going to be Wilkins to maybe challenge Burns, but for sure be in contention for second without a doubt.
And a different look on the 12 machine this week, the Kodak scheme.
Travis Kvapil, if I remember right, was in that car. It was the 77, but I don't know if did Newman ever run that car?
Ryan Newman did run a Kodak scheme, I believe, at one point, maybe in the Busch series.
Oh, but, no. You know what? If I remember right, it might have been at your home track.
Yeah, I believe.
The fact that I know this is kind of scary, but I want to say, was it 2008?
Somewhere in that era, that's for sure. And Kodak being an upstate New York product and company, it would be fitting that he ran it at the Glen. And I believe that is the case. I always loved the look of the Kodak cars, such an iconic yellow, and
that red,
and the red too on this one. The Penske kind of standard scheme with the Kodak colors, definitely an iconic look. So many good drivers in those Kodak cars over the years. Bobby Hamilton, Sterling Marlin ran it for a while too, I believe, and a few others there in the 4 for Morgan McClure Racing before they switched over that sponsorship to the Penske cars. That is some NASCAR history for the young people. That probably it all sounds foreign to them, but good era of NASCAR racing, just like all these Gen 4 machines. We're going to have a good show here tonight at Sonoma as they're wheeling these 900 horsepower race cars around this track. It's Jeremy Burns and Quentin Stewart on the front row.
Sure, it's good.
Pace car is in. It's going to be Burns. It's going to be Stewart. Going to get us going here through the final corner onto the short stretch. Green flag in the air. We're off and away from Sonoma.
Next to the inside there, Quentin Stewart for second. Burns going to pull away here, but now we got a good battle here for second. A little bit of side-by-side between Dirk Likes and Trent Wilkin for fourth. They're going to be side-by-side up the S's, or up the hill here in turn 2A. A little contact there between the 3 and the 12, but the 2 going to surge ahead of the 24. Stewart, looks like Wilkin going to get ahead of Likes, and then they're going to kind of single file, double file out. Then until you get back to, I believe that is the 13 and the 27 battling Kevin Orlando Jr. in the field here with Joseph Triciano.
And they'll go side by side, tight right-hand turn there now into the S's. This is not a place you really want to be side by side. 13 goes off the curb, able to take the spot. The 83 backed out of it, and the Go able to back out of that one. And they live to race on, but they've lost a lot of ground to the next car, Ronnie Joyner, who's at the tail end of the top 10, the mellow yellow car.
Joyner again. They had a really good run at Auto Club. Had some things fall his way. Jurgos Joyner under the inside of Joseph Triciano for 9th into turn 11. Triciano was really wide. He might have clipped the tire barrier there.
Yeah,
Ray Allen behind them.
little brush there, and that cost Terciano a ton of time. That is a tricky corner. If you miss that braking zone, it's going to really cost you. You're either going to hit the wall or you're just going to have to slow up a lot in the middle of the corner. And he lost about a second and a half to Ronnie Joyner, who's dripping away now with 9th position. Meanwhile, out in the top 5, Wilkins steps it off the racetrack, able to get it collected though.
A couple tires off the dirt shouldn't affect it too much there. Now I'm noticing, even though Burns is leading, he's not pulling away. We were seeing in qualifying, he was just about a second faster. He's got about a second and a half lead. The question is, can he continue to add on to that?
Yeah, that will be the question. Let's see. Yeah, he was about a second and a half quicker lap number 1. So this lap, not too much of a difference. Maybe only a couple of tenths so far on this. So Molnix has settled in. Got a good margin between himself and Quentin Stewart in 3rd. And we have an issue.
Oh, we got, is that Kevin Orlando is around? Stephen McGough also with an issue up the exit. They're wrecking behind them even more. The 5 cars around. I believe that's, is that Spencer Johnson? And I believe Ethan Wisnowski is also around. And it looks like a multi-car wreck here. I think these guys got into each other trying to check up for Stephen McGough. Oh, no, 29 just lost this. The 5 was already around. So like 4 separate spins. Even Kevin Orlando Jr. was around in the S's.
Yeah, 5 was trying to get back through the gears. I think maybe caught the curb and yeah, not exactly sure.
They just lost it there.
Yeah, couldn't get it back underneath him.
83 went around ahead of them, and I'm not sure what happened to the 27 of Kevin Orlando Jr., but he was around further than them off the S's. It seemed like right there in what is turn 8 and turn 8, a part of turn 8, seems to just go a little bit wide.
Oh boy, yeah,
and through 9, yeah.
He went for a long, lazy 360 spin, so lots of issues in that group. It looks like Mike Petrin also maybe just having a problem. He falls to 20th position, but a little wide off the corner right there in the planner's car.
Yeah.
Gets it collected. But all kinds of
Field
problems.
is spreading out very, very quickly from what I'm noticing. In 3 laps, we got a lot of guys already 30 seconds back, so it'll be interesting to see as the 13 of Terciano goes a little wide, I believe, or is that?
Looks like
Brett Allen, sorry.
Yeah, numbers not appearing as what they're supposed to be, but 16 on the scoring pylon, 13 on the race car.
48's around in the S's. And so is the 29. Chris Nail's around, the 29's around, and Spencer Johnson up at the top of turn 9.
Yeah, track not too hot here tonight, but these guys definitely struggling for grip. Let's take another look. Spencer Johnson, who lost it through the
Looks like that trouble area there, top of the hill in 9.
That transition from left to right is really costing these guys some problems at 48.
Yeah.
Same thing there, just could not quite get a hold of it.
And you got to remember, too, these cars have a lot of horsepower in them. They got about 900 horsepower, so that's a lot of weight transfer and a lot of horsepower to deal with. And Dirk Likes getting passed here by Galen Wunsch here into turn number 7. Going to get by him up into 8. The left-hander and then the right-hander, and then another left-hander into 9, and down into 9B, and then down the hill into the S's. And looks like starting to fall off a little bit. Tyler Harrison's kind of caught up to him, and Ronnie Joyner seems to have a decent amount of pace here in that 00 car.
Joyner starting to close in. He was running 10th just a lap or 2 ago, and now he's closing in on the 7th place battle, which is now going to be Tyler Harrison going to the inside. Likes definitely starting to struggle. You can hear the tire spin. You can see the correction in the wheel.
Trouble in turn 11. Terciano and Orlando Jr. are around.
They both get it rolling, but big damage on the front of the 27 of Orlando.
It looked like the 27 might have wheel hopped into the corner and got into the 13 of Terciano here. He was really far back, but you can see that car just kind of gets tight, locks it up, and drives underneath the 13.
Some damage on Terciano, some damage on Kevin Orlando. They both get rolling again and keep their positions actually in the top 10.
Yeah, not a ton of damage. There's a little bit of damage on the 13 of the Moser Racing car of Terciano, but then Orlando, the family auto car's got a lot of front end damage, pushed in pretty decent.
Yeah, pretty big hits there. Oh, and big bobble over the curbs. And those will get you here. Some of the curbs are okay. Some of them are definitely worse than others. And these cars...
Orlando. Oh, man.
Big ride on the curb right there.
13 is driving it over the curbs.
And he might have some steering damage. That damage on the left front looks a little interesting. I'm not exactly sure But
I
then,
saw him. Did he touch the tire barrier off of turn 11 a couple laps
yeah,
ago?
he
And I
did.
think that might have been something in the suspension.
Go up a little
Very
further.
big possibility.
Joyner has caught the back of Dirk Likes. This is the battle for 7th and 8th. A little bit of a slide off the corner there for Joyner. He loses some ground. These guys are definitely manhandling these things tonight. Quentin Stewart locking it up a little bit in turn number 1 as he
These
tries to
three
track
seem
down.
to be very close together. Burns is, I mean, he's pulling about a second a lap, especially in this part of the course. But Molnick, Stewart, and Wilkin are very, very even. And honestly, I think Galen Wunsch is kind of with him as well, but he's 4 seconds back. So it's going to be hard for them to see if he can run up, although he's got clean track and relatively clean air. So, but these three are going to be a battle for the podium positions for sure.
Yeah, and Wunsch, you know, he's got that clean running room, and these guys, whenever you get to battling on a road course, you instantly lose time. If you're side by side for any portion of time, basically that entire period of time, you're losing to the leader or the cars in front. So Wunsch might be able to catch up if they get to a battle at any point here, and they are about 4 seconds behind race leader Jeremy Burns, who continues to click off great laps.
And he's chipped off about, I would say, about a half a second this lap. So at this rate, he'd probably get there in about the next 5 laps. And honestly, Tyler Harrison, I'm curious to see the lap times they come across with Burns with an 18.0 that last time. Molnick's a 19.5, so a second and a half slower. Everybody that lap a second slower than the leader Burns, but Wilkin the 19.2, Wunsch had a 19.7, and Harrison a 19.7 as well. So interesting to see the lap times. Joyner at 19.4. Joyner's got actually top 3 pace at the moment.
Yeah, that car is looking very good. The 00 in 8 still has to make his way past Dirk Likes. This is a battle further back. Austin Dowdy, Stephen McGough, 14th and 15th. McGough, who had some issues in the first couple of laps there, has gotten it righted and still hanging on to top 15 at the moment. We'll go to the battle between Joyner and Dirk Likes. They're separated by just a couple of car lengths, and they've actually made some gains on Tyler Harrison on the back end of the track here.
Yeah, but speaking of gains, Quentin Stewart has made a lot of time up on Molnick's right to the back bumper of him into turn number 10. Molnick's going to miss his opportunity to clip that curb better and get the turn. Here comes Stewart with a decent enough run. Going to peek the nose to drivers right here of the two. Going to wheel hop into the corner, lock the brakes up a little bit. Can Molnick cross him over? I don't think he's going to. And Stewart going to take second with Trent Wilkin right behind Molnick. Now the two Penske cars going to battle together. Although Stewart gets loose there in the short chute, should allow Molnick with another chance. But I think Molnick's starting to struggle a little bit with the grip, and like last week at Fontana, he's struggling with rear grip.
Yeah, it was as the run went on, and you know, 8 laps doesn't seem like a long time. It's only, they haven't even completed 8 laps.
Right? Of tires.
It really is here at this racetrack, especially with the 900 horsepower race car. As Kevin Orlando has gotten around as
I think Dirk Likes is into pit road. Interesting.
Yeah, interesting call. He's going to try and
stop this maybe, but I don't know.
Maybe not loving the feel of the car, or maybe had an issue, but he has brought it in, and he's going to lose some track position for the moment. McGough still not able to make anything happen.
Stewart spins off at the top of the hill in 7. Car was running in second, has spun around off of 7, and it looks like might have gave it too much gas. Cleared Molnick's lap before it, transitions off the curb, and around he goes. Loses 1, 2, 3, 4 spots, and now he's joined back into 7th, losing 5 spots actually. And Ronnie Joyner has gotten by him and Stewart from 2nd to 7th in a matter of 2 corners after losing the rear end off of turn number 7.
Yeah, and he's still struggling for grip in that
struggling
car.
now.
Yeah, got the wheel turned hard to the right through that one, and the back end is starting to slip around.
Wilkin has a chance for 2nd here. He gets into Molnick's at the top of the turn 1. Almost got in out that Ricky Redpaint scheme for Austin Dowdy. Battling with Stephen McGough, and there's Dirk Likes as well.
Yeah, Likes back on the racetrack, fresh tires on that car, 14.2 seconds in the pits. But yeah, big battle up here for
Wilkin.
2nd and 3rd.
Wilkin's got something here for Molnick. I really am looking at the lap times. Wilkin's been right behind them, a little bit slower, but because he's right behind him. Here it comes. Molnick's going to miss the corner a little bit. Wilkin not going to be able to get to the power yet. And I think Trenton Wilkins going to have to wait until probably turn 11 for a passing opportunity unless the 2 messes up. And this part of the section is, there's trouble. Mike Petrin and the 60 is around in the tire barriers down off of turn number 9.
Yeah, running in 19th, the lap down. Just lost it there on the transition once again, where we've seen so many drivers lose it tonight. But yeah, he's able to be out of the way. Here's the send.
Big send. Oh, the 2 locked up. Forced the 2 into a mistake off of 11, and Wilkins going to get the spot.
They both went
really locked up.
They both went a little too deep and both locked up, but the 2 just a little bit too far and left the door open. As we have battling further back, Austin Dowdy, Chris
Dowdy is past here. I think Dowdy got passed here by Nail and Wisnowski. Stephen McGo's a little bit up there, and again, Mike Petrin went around and I think got the tire very decent enough. He's got a little damage. He's keeping it rolling though. And remember, no full course cautions here tonight, so that's going to really make it hard to rebound from a mistake, especially if you're Quentin Stewart. I know he just got 1 spot away. I think, I think the 60 might be a little more damaged than he might have thought.
Yeah, that car appears a little bit off the pace, and driver who is not off the pace, that's Jeremy Burns. He is still setting fantastic laps, fastest car on the track with a 1:19.1 last time around, and his lead now up to 7.8 seconds. Is this a case where maybe he does a 2-stop and somebody else might try to single stop this?
There's no need for him to do anything until the guys in second decide to do anything, because he's got so much pace in that car that I don't think anybody's going to touch him.
Battle still on for second. Molnick's not quite close enough to take a stab at it there. And not too far back is Wunsch. He started to close in again. 3.5 seconds between himself and the number 2. And lap time there, not quite as quick as those guys. Tyler Harrison has picked up the pace. He's starting to close in.
Harrison has a decent amount of speed, about 3/10 faster. He was actually the 2nd fastest car on the track that last lap. So interesting to see if he can do anything with it.
And he's got 13.5 seconds up to Jeremy Burns. Wilkin was very quick, actually 1:19 flat. So once he's gotten clear of Molnick's, he's set, the fastest lap on the track that time. Overcooks it a little bit into that corner, but still able to. He's got pretty good handle on that car tonight, it appears.
It does. It looks like the line. That's why I think he was my pick here to get maybe second. Is that he looked like he had a decent long run pace in that car, and I think he's showing it right now. 11 laps into the run. It seems like 11 laps not that much, but it really is here, especially at a track like Sonoma. I think Wilkins got a little pace. Does he have anything for Burns? Probably not, because that's a lot of time to make up. But never say never.
And never say never. You keep going until the checker flag's waving. And he is keeping, Burns on his 7 seconds. I don't think he's gained or lost anything. Actually, this lap, 3/10 quicker. So not going to be quite enough to get there, I think, even by the end of the race. But
Burns is in traffic. I think it's kind of slowing the lap times down a little bit. He just got by Brett Allen. He's got Chris Nail to go as well, but a little bit of traffic that's affecting the lap time. But don't get me wrong, Wilkins got good pace. He is starting to gap Molnick's really quick, and I think Wunsch is starting to at least keep it even with Molnick's, not a lot. And then I think Harrison lost a lot of time that last time, so I'm not really sure if this field's going to get too spread out. And Stewart, obviously, even after that spin, has more pace than at least the 3 cars ahead of him.
Yeah, so he's going to be rallying here to try and get up there and get a top 5 out of this, running 6th. He's only about 2.5 seconds in front of the next car, Tyler Harrison. You can see right there exiting the screen. Here comes Stewart into the S's. Yeah, he's got pretty good pace. 1:18.5, fastest car on the track last time around. Next fastest was Wilkin, and then Jeremy Burns, of course, setting a very consistent pace right here. But that gap has started to decrease between the top 2. It's down to 6.5 seconds. This is all about the long run, but they may be bringing it to pit road at some point here in the next 5 or 10 laps.
Yeah, I think you got to bring it down soon if you want to cut this race in half. If you're Wilkin, he's running up on lap traffic. Depends on how quick he's going to run through them, get through them. But he's got a lot of pace, and Chris Nail just ahead of him. in the 48. He's going to have to also deal with the traffic as well. So we'll see how quick he can get by these lap cars. And if not, do you want to pit a little early here? I know it's going to be a longer run if you pit now, but it's possible. You see right here, he's going to lose a little bit of time having to get by these cars.
Yeah, he's already lost about a second in just that span of the racetrack. I think taking a little conservatively, a little bit out of the rhythm there when you get behind a lap car, and they can also take that air off the nose in some of these flatter sections of the track.
Stephen McGowan into pit road, and Dirk Likes has not been too bad. He's turning about the leader's pace right now, so how much time he's going to gain with those fresher tires is the question. Obviously, he's on a much different strategy, so we'll see where he shakes out. Quentin Stewart, though, is the fastest car on the racetrack, like you said, and he's caught Tyler Harris, and the question, can he pass him?
Yeah, just about 4 or 5 car lengths. Big slide there from the 45 down into the braking zone. Still struggling for grip, and he's gonna
lunge. Oh
boy!
Oh, missed it. They get really loose, and here comes Stewart to the outside, and Harrison knows no real fight to put up there, and Stewart back up inside the top 5. Molnex has gotten ran down by Galen Wunsch, and Wunsch is closing up on the back of the 2 car up the hill, but to the 24, 2 or 5 seconds back, is closing quick.
Yeah, he is definitely putting down some hot laps right now. 119 point flat there from the 24. Burns picked it up once again, and Trenton Wilkin lost a little time passing the lap cars, so they're spaced back out to about 7 seconds. You might think that Wilkin or some of these guys would try to play a little strategy and put fresh tires on maybe a lap before Jeremy Burns can.
It's not going to be that.
It's not going to be enough. Yeah. I mean, the thing is, you want to get as close as possible, but it's going to be
Burns
tough.
is only a second off of his fast lap, but you look at guys like Wilkin, he's about 2 seconds off of his fastest lap time. So a lot to go here, and tell you what, Allen is not getting out of the way of the 12 here. It's hurting the 12's lap time.
Come down into the final corner. He's still about 2 car lengths
Unique
behind.
line I'm noticing. Very unique line I'm noticing in the 12. He kind of not cooks the corner, but he kind of does, but then he cuts the corner way earlier than I've ever seen anybody cut it. It's a great run off.
Almost like the alternate line that you can run at Martinsville, where you almost run the middle of the second groove and then drop it down on exit.
And Brett Allen needs to, there you go, get out of the way here of the 12 and see if the 12 can run, although that costs him just a second that lap. And Wunsch is really, really pressuring Molnex. Going to have to force a mistake like we saw Wilkin force Molnex to do into 11, but as that's happening, Stewart is running them down quick. 3 seconds now. He was 5 seconds a lap ago, and now he's cut 2 seconds off the time, and he's going to probably get by these cars before they pit.
Yeah, if he hadn't had that moment, off this next corner a few laps back, he would definitely be trying to track down Jeremy Burns. He was running in second and lost all that ground, and he's just now going to be fighting for a podium finish. It looks like it's possible.
Right about the same time.
Burns going to stay out another lap. Wilkin just coming through the end of the S's here. Is he going to bring it to pit lane at any point?
He's going to stay. Closest Wunsch has been to the 2 of Molnex, but can he force the 2 into a mistake into 11? He's going to send in a lot harder. Molnex backs up the corner. Wunsch going to see if he can cut under him, get the drive off here. He has better drive off than the 2.
Yeah, closed up a little bit as Molnex locked up just a tiny bit through the corner there. Battle for position further back. Costner and Dirk Likes to cancel. Likes back into the top 10 now on the fresh tires.
I think I would have tried to stay out a little bit later to pit, but not hating the pit call, but I'm not loving the pit call either. It's gonna probably cycle out. I think he would have probably been running around 7th or 8th before he pit, so I'm not sure. Who knows? He might not bring it in again here at the end, so it's possible.
Yeah, it's possible he goes the rest of the way. It would be 21 laps on that run, which I think is possible at this track with 100% fuel. But he is about 55 seconds behind your race leader, Jeremy Burns, and then this battle for 3rd continuing to rage here as they enter into the S's. It's Wunsch about 3 or 4 car lengths behind the 2 of Daniel Molnex, and Quentin Stewart now has decreased that margin to 2 seconds off the back bumper of the 199.
Now. I think Wunsch has a little more pace of the 2, but can he find it to get by? Though you can see the 2 misses the apex a little bit. But once you can't get the drive off, and actually lose a little bit, about a half a car length there. Going to dive into the turn 11. Needs the 2 to make a mistake like that, go a little bit wide. But can he keep the exit?
It seems to be the 2's weak spot at this track tonight. He's really good around a few sections of the track, but then down into 11, seems to miss the corner almost every lap when he's got pressure, and that is costing him a lot of time at the tail end of this racetrack. And look at Quentin Stewart. He is there now.
He's there. Oh, Molex went wide. Get the tire into the dirt.
Hanging on to it for the moment, but it's just a car length separating those 2, and then Quentin Stewart.
About to be 3.
Wow, he has absolutely tracked these guys down. 1:18.3 last lap. That is how much faster he is. That is the fastest car by almost a second, even faster than Jeremy Burns. And
Burns would have to make a massive mistake to give him, Stewart a chance. But I would have been interested to see if Stewart had anything for him, especially as the run went long, because a second faster than Burns, and Burns is not in traffic. So it would have been interesting to see. But Stewart for sure has a 3rd place car. He might even have a 2nd place car if he can get back up through these guys quick. This lap car might throw a couple things off here. And here comes Wunsch to the inside. The driver's right. 5 car gonna make the 2, probably miss the corner. Can he cross Wunsch over? Wunsch spins the tires. And here comes Molnix fighting back. Gonna look to the inside. No, he can't. Galen Wunsch to 3rd, but Quentin Stewart right behind them.
Yeah, Molnix was spinning the tires the whole time off of that corner, all the way to the next kink on the straightaway, and he's able to slot in line into 4th now, and Wunsch through to the podium. But Stewart's still going to try and make a move here. Just past halfway in this race, good amount of time to get up there and get a podium finish out of this thing.
I think Wunsch is hoping that the 2 holds up to 24 just a little bit longer.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see if Galen Wunsch is able to just drive away, and he is doing that, about 5 car lengths already. So definitely the 2 car was affecting the 199 these last few laps, slowing him down. But again, they close back up now into the S's.
Right here, if Wunsch doesn't make a mistake, should pull away a little bit with the cleaner air. And now Stewart going to have a big run here, but can he set him up through 10 and into 11 to give himself a shot to get to driver's right here? Opens up the exit. You're going to try to see if he can clip the curve a little bit better. He's going to have a nice little run. Can he peek it down to driver's right here? No, he'll stay behind the 2. He's going to have to wait another lap. Oh, Wunsch missed a corner. Big slide out of 24, and here comes Molnix with another chance to get back at the 199.
A really good battle up here inside the top 5. The top 2 are long gone, but these guys having a really good fight for that final step of the podium here at Sonoma tonight. A few other battles throughout the race. Kevin Orlando Jr. and Joseph Turciano, 8th and 9th, fighting for position. They're about 3 or 4 car lengths separated at the moment. Dirk Lyke still in the top 10. He's got a long ways to go to catch anybody else in the top 10, but again, has already made a pit stop, as well as a few other drivers in this race. Brent Allen, Wyatt Walker, Ethan Wisnowski have all brought it to pit road at some point in this race, and maybe going to run to the end from here. But the top 9 have not brought it down yet, and we're expecting them to bring it in at some point.
And with only 10 laps to go here, in I believe 2 laps, with 12 to go, you're going to have to bring it in very soon. And the next run, they'll be able to kind of push it way harder than they have this run. This run, you got 20 laps. The next run, you're going to have way less than that, probably maybe 10 laps less than that. So be interesting to see as Wunsch has opened up a lead. Molnix missed 10 a little bit, but I think Stewart's going to have to stay behind him another lap.
He's just struggling a little bit now that he's caught up to these 2. He was running so much faster. Maybe he burned up his stuff a little bit, though, pushing so hard. I don't know. I mean, he was running so much faster than this, about 1.5 seconds a lap faster than what he's been able to. This time a little bit better than before, but the 2 in front of him have also picked it up.
I think Wunsch might have had the best car of the guys so far, although I thought Stewart might have. But Wunsch is not pulling away, but he's like inching away. I think is the best way to put it. He's not significantly faster, but he's a little bit faster, and he's opening up the gap a little bit. I feel like Molnix is really good in this first part of the course, but then once you get out of 7 and into the S's, the 2 car really struggles all the way out until about turn 11.
I also think that maybe Molnix is more comfortable running behind someone. That can really be helpful on a road course to have a reference car in front of you, where sometimes it's hard to be the one leading and remember to hit all your marks. You can just kind of reference what you're doing off the driver in front. As Stewart able to close up a little bit there through the S's, but not able to be close enough. We'll see if they get through turn number 10. Look at Stewart sliding the back end.
Run.
Big run there.
Here comes his chance. Can he force Molnex into a mistake, or will he drive it into hard? But Molnex and Stewart makes another mistake, and he'll lose time.
Locked up the rears right there. Pushed it a little too far. Let's take a look at the replay.
That looked like too much wheel hop.
He was sliding through the previous corner. I wonder if he just heated the tires a little bit. But yeah, this was a ton of wheel hop. Just instantly goes around. Ramps it up over the
Molnex got some damage as well.
Yeah, front end pretty crinkled on the right front there.
Curious to see if that affects the damage, or does that affect the suspension any bit?
It looks like he's crab walking a little bit. That could just be a visual of the way the right front's crumpled in. With the car, it does not look like it's super happy. Quentin Stewart, only 2.5 seconds back, could have a shot to still get up there. It's long from over for these guys, which is crazy to say. We do have a battle.
I think
right
if
now.
you're Stewart, you got to pit now. There's no way with the tires that you've spun on twice, they're going to be faster. And Terciano and Orlando going at it right here as well. These guys are slowly but surely kind of keeping it even with Joyner, but they look like they were catching for a while. And Orlando and these two have already gotten together and spun out with each other as hits the damage on the 27 and the damage on the rear end of the 13. So see if Terciano can find a way around. Tries to open up the entrance of the corner. Man, he uses a lot of curb into 7, gets almost half the car on it.
Yeah, he lost a lot of time just through that section. Got to be really careful with these cars. They do not like that much curb. You can give it a little bit, but the further you go, the less balance these cars are going to feel. And they're already not the best driving car on a road course. Makes them a lot of fun to watch, but it is a handful to carry one of these things around a road course.
It is. Oh, Spencer Johnson around at the top of the hill. Get it back going to the Shalpenzo car, but letting the top 5 kind of go by. And yeah, when do these guys pick? Can these guys make it to the end? I don't think they will. 30 laps, a lot of laps.
Yeah, I've never seen a run go that long here, actually. For a green flag, no pit stops. In my experience, it's usually around that 18 to 25. So you'd think that they'd be getting close to that, but no, still not going to bring it in this time. None of the other leaders appear to be indicating that either. The 12 staying out once again. And you got to go a long ways back to Galen Wunsch, who's still got a 1.5 second margin over Molnix. And then that gap to Quentin Stewart has decreased once again. He's starting to reel these guys in.
And Wunsch is starting to pull away here from Molnix, and Stewart starting to run these guys down again as Brett Allen gets out of the way and might almost clipped the tire barrier there, but got out of the way. So it'll be interesting to see, can Stewart run down Molnix?
It's going to be the question as he climbs the hill. The gap about 2 seconds up to Molnix, and then Molnix maintaining about 1.5, 1.6 seconds behind Wunsch. Trenton Wilkin, he's starting to reel in Burns again.
He is, but there's too much time, and there's a lot of lap cars in between them.
Yeah, and that's probably why he's been able to, as he loses a little bit of time just as I say it. Car way off the track right there. Not sure who that was. Maybe Bryson Witherspoon.
I think that's Wyatt, or that wasn't Wyatt Water. Was that?
Yeah, Bryson Witherspoon.
Yeah, Bryson Witherspoon, yeah.
He's back in 18.
A lot of damage to that car, unfortunately. The Burtman's car he's hurt, and there's a lot of damage on it. 4 laps down. Not the night he's hoping for.
Yeah, Chris Nail, Austin Dowdy have taken it behind the wall. We still have 10 cars on the lead lap. Dirk Likes, the last of those, has made a pit stop here tonight. So we know that he's good to the end based on the way that everybody else is still out here 24 laps in. But he is only about 10 seconds out in front of the race leader. So if he wants to finish on the lead lap, he's going to have to start pushing it here with six to go next time.
Yeah, and I think Wunsch is just inching away here from Molnix, and Terciano's still on the back bumper of Orlando here. He just hasn't found a way. This might be his best chance, and down the S's and into 10.
I think these guys are going to battle to the last lap, all the way to the line is how I think this one's going to go. They're both sliding, they're both damaged. They're just having a good time out here. And this is always, you know, the fun part of road course racing. You find somebody to battle with, you know, similar speed, similar skill set, and you can have a really fun time, even if you're just battling for 8th and 9th, not for the win.
I think Koshner or somebody went around. I'm not sure who it was. I think it was the 5 car went around at the top of the hill in turn 7.
That was not.
Wisnowski, I think he went around again.
He's going to pull it into the pit lane now in front of a few of these cars. One of those being Trenton Wilkin, having to work his way past 2 lap cars.
Not going to help with lap time.
Yeah, that is the worst case scenario. Instantly losing about a second.
And in the slowest corner too, and they're battling for position, so they can't really afford to give him too much time. And Koshner does a great gesture and lets him go, but McGow's not going to let him go.
Yeah, that's for 11th and 12th position on the racetrack, but battling with the 2nd place car of Wilkin, who is losing time hand over fist, as we have a battle between Terciano and Orlando again.
Man.
Up over the curb.
Wow, what a move there from Terciano, getting by the 27 in the S's, and a good move there, and a risky move. Usually that ends up in a wreck side by side there, but Terciano gets ahead and starting to pull away, and Quentin Stewart has ran Molnex back down here for 4th. Stewart can still get a top podium. I'd be amazed. I think they're going to be able to make it on fuel here to the end.
Yeah, I think they will. I mean, no indication whatsoever that these guys are going to bring it in.
Oh, man, they both got loose there off the corner. Molnex started to run down once again.
Yeah, it's so strange. These guys, it's almost like an accordion, right? They kind of space out and they close back in. They have their moments, but yeah, Quentin Stewart is all over the back.
Stewart's got a chance. He just can't afford to make another mistake. He cannot make 3 mistakes and expect to get a podium.
I mean, he's incredibly fast, but yeah, you cannot make that many major mistakes.
Oh, Molnex kind of sent it in there kind of hard.
24.
Watch is backed up to both of them.
I wonder if, I mean, maybe there's a fuel saving going on, but I just don't think that's really a possibility here at a road course like this.
It's a really good battle. It's a really good battle between these 3 cars for that podium spot.
5 laps to go. It's all Jeremy Burns out in front as he comes up behind Dirk Likes. Last car in the lead lap in 10. That is how fast Jeremy has been.
Oh, Stewart almost got into Molnex here, and Molnex makes a mistake. Stewart's going to get there, but at a bad angle of the corner. And this is probably not the worst corner. Goes side by side in here, down the hill into 5.
Trying to force a mistake, though, and Molnick's not going to fall for it that time. But they are losing more time as they battle. Wunsch starting to pull away once again, 1.3 seconds in front of Molnick's.
If Stewart gets by Molnex with ease, oh man, big moment there. I think he might have something for Wunsch here in the final couple of laps, but he's got to get by the 2 here. And the 2 is making a lot of mistakes, and so is the 24 being right behind him. He's just got to find a way around him, and I think turn 11 is his best opportunity.
They have lost so much time to Galen Wunsch. He is now
2
seconds out in front.
Oh, Molnex got wide. This would be Stewart's chance here. Golden opportunity to get to the driver's right here. Cannot afford to make a mistake.
Oh, he does!
There he gets into Molnex, and Wunsch, I believe, excuse me, it looks like Stewart may be losing the back bumper of his car. No, but he gets by Molnex, moves him out of the way, making a mistake, and I guess Stewart takes the spot away.
Not the traditional way to make a pass down in here, but wow, same exact thing. Yeah, clipped the...
Missed the tire barrier, barely.
Yeah, it even showed contact with the front end.
Yeah, and it kind of shuffled Molnex out of the way.
Wow. Those
That's
guys
one way to pass here.
It really is. We'll see if Molnix has anything to get back to him, but now it's Quentin Stewart. 4 seconds to make up in 4 laps. The Galen Wunsch, who was starting to lose some time at one point, but he's picked it back up now. Fastest car on the racetrack, pretty much even with Trenton Wilkin. Those 2 cars are the fastest.
How's the speed of Wilkin's been having? I mean, Burns is well off the pace compared to Wilkin, and I don't think Burns has really had... Oh, he had a little bit of traffic there that last lap, but we'll see this lap. But Wilkin's cut it back to about under 5 or under 6 seconds here. So I'm curious to see him. Like you said, 30 laps is maybe the longest run I've ever seen anybody go here at Sonoma. Is Burns maybe trying to save fuel here?
Yeah, it could be the case. I mean, he's been out in front pushing, running faster than pretty much everybody. I don't know exactly. Quentin Stewart, he's about 2.7 seconds behind Galen Wunsch now, so he's been able to shave off 1.4 seconds on this lap. Could have a shot at a podium.
Just enough here if we got 3 laps to go. One thing to pass him, another thing to catch him here, and the thing for Wunsch is he's going to have to deal with Mitchell Costner, the lap car. That's going to hurt his lap time, and it allows Stewart to get it up even closer.
Costner running in 12th position, has lost the back bumper of the 83 of Mago, and those two were battling for 11. Mago has that solidly in hand. Here goes Wunsch now to the inside. 92 going to give him plenty of room. No issues there. Here comes Quentin Stewart, though. Oh,
and the red in front of Stewart, and Stewart just missed him. Costner did a 360, hit the wall to driver's left, got it pretty good, and Stewart had to avoid and lost a little bit of time.
Let's see what happened. I think it was just coming off
Transition of the curb.
Wow, good awareness though from Quentin Stewart to see that coming. And then look at Molnix. He almost got into it there well after the fact. The gap now.
Unfortunately, it costed Stewart a little bit of time there to get to Wunsch here. He's cut it to 1.5 seconds. Now he's got 2 laps to at least get there, but can he pass him?
2 laps to go. Jeremy Burns out in front by 6.4 seconds. Got to give it to Trenton Wilkin. He has been solid in second, has been pretty much matching times with Jeremy Burns. Once he got to that position, didn't really lose or gain anything. Just been right between 6 and 7 seconds all race long.
It has. I'll give Trenton Wilkin credit, man. And I tell you what, at Fontana, he started in the back and worked himself up into a top 5. So I got to give this guy credit. He's good. It seems to be on all the different racing types. So maybe somebody to look forward to when we come later into the races with maybe a possibility of winning.
Yeah, definitely. He's been very strong here these last 2 weeks. So Lake's well offline, going to give him the room there. I did notice the 12 has some left front damage. Not sure when he got that, but it's pretty heavy.
Yeah.
The tire's sticking way out of that race car.
Tell you what, the Quentin Stewart Galen Wunsch battle is going to get really interesting because Wunsch has lap cars to deal with here. Is off in the final turn in 11 and into 12 and onto the front stretch. Jeremy Burns is going to take the white flag. He'll have 1 lap to go and looking to get the Grand Slam fastest in practice qualifying, lead every lap, and to win the race, he's just got to last another 2 miles, miles, 2 miles and 11 turns. But the battle is going to be this between 3rd and 4th. Quentin Stewart, Galen Wunsch, and Wunsch looking for his first podium of the season. Stewart also looking to do the same.
Yeah,
1 lap to go here and up the hill.
Wunsch got by the lap car a little bit more smoothly, but Quentin Stewart, he is on a mission right now to make up for those mistakes that he's made throughout the race. He's now 1 second behind with most of the track to go. He has cleared Molnix and everybody else by a long distance, so it's sights fully set on the 199. This is the battle for the final step of the podium. Jeremy Burns
is going to run up on these cars here. Yeah, I think he's going to get to them in the S's. Although Stewart messed up there off of 6 and into 7. 2 lap cars ahead of the 99.
Oh.
He misses the corner. 85 of Walker gets out of the way. It's going to be 6/7 of a second separating Wunsch and Stewart into 7, into 8, into 9. But how about this? Off of turn number 11, Jeremy Burns, in dominating fashion, will come to see the checkered flag and get his first win of the season, and it comes in wine country. Burns wins. Wilkin gonna get second. I believe Wunsch is gonna hold on for 3rd unless a big mistake. He locks up. He goes wide. Stewart might have a chance at him. Here they come off of turn 11. Wilkin crosses the line 2nd. Wunsch and Stewart battle for 3rd, but it's going to be Galen Wunsch holding on and getting the spot, and Stewart comes by a close 4th. 3 car lengths back, and Daniel Molnix is going to get another top 5.
Wow, that was a great recovery from Quentin Stewart. You know, drove his heart out, but just a couple too many mistakes there, and that is going to cost him a shot at the podium ultimately, as it is Jeremy Burns burning it down here on the backside of the racetrack. His victory, dominant performance here at Sonoma Raceway. We'll interview him and the rest of the top 3 as he continues to show off for the fans. We will be right back. And here comes Milo. Big run out of 4. He's going to be there.
Tristan Marty's there. Cannot count out to 37.
Oh!
The Milo gets burned!
Cabot, where did he come from? Here comes Zwack.
A push from the 33.
It's a drag race.
The Magic Man wins it Auto Club.
Back at the racetrack now, we're going to be talking to our third place finisher. That is Galen Wunsch. Alec, I believe you're with him.
I believe so. See if I can get to him, guy. Galen Wunsch, Alec Martinez, Adam Baker in the VC booth. You got a copy, buddy?
How's it going? Yes, sir.
It's going good. Well, man, you put a hard-fought fight there with Daniel Molnex and, and the 24 of Quentin Stewart, man. How was those final 10 laps? It seemed to be. It seemed like you were driving the wheels off of it.
I was. I think I was trying too hard. You know, I had the steering ratio pretty low, probably too low. The Xfinity was so much better. This was my first time in one of those. Oh my gosh. Anybody that can run those can run anything.
It seemed like you guys were sliding around a lot. Well, obviously, at your first podium finish of the season, that's obviously a good thing. Next week, if I check right, is it Las Vegas? I believe we're going out to. How do you feel about going out there to a mile and a half?
Not too bad. I mean, I'm more of a road course guy. Unfortunately, the other guys tend to be much better. Daniel Munix is kind of the king of ovals in our group, so he's kind of the one to beat, and he's apparently the one to beat in road courses too. Now he's catching up.
He sure is. Well, buddy, we appreciate your time. And is there anybody you want to give a shout out to for the third place finish?
Oh, shout out to y'all. I mean, it's getting to be a pretty awesome broadcast. I enjoy watching these races over. Well, except when me and Trenton got into an incident that was hard to watch again, but I think he understands.
For sure, man. Well, we appreciate you, Galen. Have yourself a phenomenal night, and again, congratulations on the third place finish.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, we'll see you next week in Vegas.
Yes, sir.
It's Galen Wunsch, third place finisher. Sorry to cut you off.
Yeah,
and then
second
move
place.
on to second. There's be Trenton Wilkin, Trenton, Alec Martinez, Adam Baker in the VC booth. Got a copy, buddy?
Yeah, I do.
Well, man, you put again a hard-fought fight last week at Fontana. Came home with the top 5 this week, a top 3 here, and a second-place finish. Seemed to have really pretty good pace once you got by Quentin Stewart's mistake and by Molnex. There, take us through your race here.
Yeah, I think we had a fast car out there, especially like during practice. We just couldn't lay it down in qualifying, but I feel like if we got past the 2 and the 24 a lot sooner, I think we could have had something for him up there if he wasn't so far out there. Because every time I run a fast lap, boom, there's another lap car right in front of me, and then be the worst part of the tracks I'll catch him. But I think we had a fast car. It's a great showcase of what we can do.
For sure, man. And shift your focus. We stay out west. One final race on the West Coast out in Sid City in Las Vegas, Nevada. How do you feel about going out there? We saw you have speed at Fontana. Do you expect to have speed again in Vegas?
I feel confident in our mile and a half skills with it. We'll see how practice lays out. Obviously, I think the 2 is going to be one to beat. If Poe comes back, he'll be one to beat. We're going to have a lot of guys out there with a lot of speed, and hopefully we can come out with another top 5 to keep the season going.
For sure, man. Well, we appreciate your time, Trenton. Is there anybody you want to give a shout out to for the second place finish?
Shout out to QSR for letting me join in the league, and shout out to the wife, letting me on here.
For sure, man. Well, we appreciate your time, Trenton. We'll see you. Hopefully, be talking to you again and see you next week out in Las Vegas, man.
For sure. Thank you.
All right. Well, have a good night.
You as well.
Second place finisher, Trenton Wilkin. A great performance by him, but the man of the hour, the dominant guy of the day, Adam Baker in victory lane with Jeremy Burns.
Jeremy Burns, this is Adam and Alec in the V-Speed booth. You get a copy.
Yes, sir.
Well, a dominating performance here tonight. You lead every single lap. You're fastest in practice, fastest in qualifying, and you get the night sweep in that number 97 machine. Your first victory, a dominant performance. How does it feel to get that win here tonight at Sonoma?
Oh, it feels great. It feels like I finally popped the cork off the bottle. Last year we were very successful, and this year, we've been up there, but just haven't been able to get that first win. So being able to do that and do it in the fashion that we did here at Sonoma, it felt really good. All throughout practice, we were very quick. Through qualifying, very quick. And once I got out to that lead, it was just about managing it. And once I was able to manage it, just managing lap traffic, being patient, not putting myself in any sticky situations that could cost me. So executed perfectly tonight. Felt like I just there was really no short side to it. I mean, the guys were catching me towards the end, but at the same time, I was just kind of cruising and managing the gap. So just really proud of everyone on the 97 team. They did a great job all weekend. But yeah, just looking forward to next week.
Yeah, incredibly strong performance from you here tonight at Sonoma. We were wondering throughout the race about fuel mileage and all that. Was there any concern of getting to the end here? Obviously, everybody did make it, but were you ever considering pitting for fuel or tires at any point in this race?
So I wasn't necessarily thinking about pitting, but when I loaded in, I saw that I needed to save at least half a lap, and that started on the pace lap, your warm-up lap. But I mean, for the most part, I was a gear up tonight. So if you would normally run it in second gear, you would be in third gear, and I managed to save 3 or 4 laps that way. So it was a little bit tighter, something that we had to worry about at the beginning of the race. But halfway through, you look at your field and you're like, man, I'm to the good. So after that, it really wasn't that big of a deal. But yeah, it definitely was tight there at the beginning.
Yeah, and it all worked out in the end, and you ended up pulling away to a big gap and able to maintain that, like you said, for all 30 laps. We go to Las Vegas next week, completely different situation. How do you feel going out there?
I like Vegas. I haven't really ran there in the Gen 4, so good to be practicing up on that a little bit. But I know that we're going to unload fast. We always do. Just got to stay out of the trouble and keep her up front, and hopefully run down some of those guys that are, up there in your usual suspects on the mile and a half. So but looking forward to it. I know our Irwin's industrial tools are going to be up there and be ready for next week.
Awesome, Jeremy. Well, congrats on the win here tonight at Sonoma. Is there anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, my mom and dad, my girlfriend Josie, Dylan, Coach P, Sonny, my grandma, Miss Betsy for their continuous support, Julie, Derek, Caroline, Shannon, Belinda. The rest of the team tonight didn't necessarily get where they wanted to be, but we're going to work on it, that's for sure. And any of the other sponsors in the league, especially you guys over here, V-Speed, y'all are amazing. And I can't wait to go back and watch the broadcast. I think that should be it.
Awesome, Jeremy. Well, congrats again, and we're looking forward to seeing you out there at Las Vegas, Sin City, and see if you can go back to back at that mile and a half. But congrats on the win. Go celebrate, and we'll catch you then.
Yes, sir. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Race winner Jeremy Burns, dominant performance here tonight from Sonoma Raceway. 30 laps led out of the 30 laps that they ran here. Alec, what a fantastic race. Good battling in the top 5 for a lot of this one. And what a fun night here at Sonoma for the second time this week.
Yeah, man, awesome racing, really all night. I mean, guys were really, really fast, or especially Burton's really, really fast. Wilkin kind of separate himself, but that battle for third between Wunsch, Stewart, and Molnix, man, that was some classic road course racing. And man, I'm looking forward to Vegas next week. I think it's gonna be really fun to watch.
Yeah, it should be exciting for sure. That's always a fun 1.5 mile racetrack, and with these 900 horsepower Gen 4 machines, should be fun as always. So looking forward to that, definitely. But Jeremy Burns, he takes the win here tonight, burning it down on your screen. Trenton Wilkin, very strong second place finish, was the only one who really could keep the 97 in his sights. Galen Wunsch comes home on the podium in third. Quentin Stewart recovers back to fourth place. Daniel Molnix finishes with another top 5. Tyler Harrison, he'll come home 6th. Bonnie Joyner finishes in 7th. 8th place was Joseph Terciano. 9th was Kevin Orlando Jr. And Dirk Likes rounds out the top 10.
And then Stephen Mago going to come in 11th. Mitchell Costner, 12th. Brett Allen, 13th. Wyatt Walker was 14th. Spencer Johnson, 15th. Mike Patron is going to roll on in 16th. Bryson Witherspoon in 17th. Wow, I might or may not have closed my screen. Ethan Wisnowski going to be 18th. And Chris Nile is going to be 19th. And Austin Dowdy in 20th.
Yeah, really great race here by everybody involved. We still had 9 drivers on the lead lap and great battles all throughout. Definitely a fun night at Sonoma Raceway, and excited to be headed to Las Vegas next week. Make sure to like, share, subscribe if you enjoyed the broadcast here this evening. We do appreciate it, and thank you for joining us here on V-Speed. Have a great night.